right, one more time. We're in our 5th episode here, getting ready for the holidays. And we're going to cook something a little less traditional for the holidays. We're going to have some beautiful pork chops here. Ideally, these would be bone-in, although those were not available today. So we have some nice pork chops. We're just going to season them with just very simple salt and pepper here. We're going to get these guys going. And then we'll talk a little bit about what we did to prepare these. All right, so we got a nice hot pan going there. And you can see nice thick pork chops there going in. There we go. All right, so what we did with our pork chops is we started preparing these the day before, and we made a brine. So a brine is some kosher salt, some sugar, and then we have some spices in there. So we have some peppercorns, we have some allspice, which was ground, and then we have a bay leaf, and we have some thyme out of the garden, and we have some crushed fennel seeds is all that was to that. And so those pork chops sat in there overnight. And that brine has to be cold. You have to heat it up to dissolve all the solids there, but then you got to cool it off. So you get that nice and cooled, and you add the pork chops at least 8 hours, so you could do it the day of. I like to do it the night before. We take them out, they get to set on the rack here just a little bit so they dry, so we're going to get that nice crisp, that nice sear on those. Simple seasoning. We have some pepper grinder. We're going to grind a little more pepper on those. So a little more there. And that's all it needs there. A little sprinkle more of salt. There we go. Now these are going to cook, they're going to sear for 4 to 5 minutes depending on the thickness of your pork chop there. 4 to 5 minutes, we're going to flip them over, and then we're going to finish them in the oven, 425, and they're going to need 8 to 10 minutes depending on how you like your pork done. Because it's been brined, this is going to add a lot of flavor to it, and it's going to retain the moisture there. So these are going to be, I have friends that I've served these, are like, this is the moistest pork chop I've ever had. So it's a great, easy recipe that you can do. Perfect for the holidays when you want something. If you don't want to cook that turkey or that ham, cook some pork chops there. So it goes along well with it. Now we're going to serve this with a yellow mole. Okay, so that was made with some roasted yellow peppers, some onions, some tortillas, some chicken stock, and of course lots of spices and flavors, some raisins and white chocolate. It's going to add a great depth of flavor, and then we're going to finish that with a little chili oil on the side for a little bit of spice there. So, all right, so those pork chops are pretty close to ready there. You can see they're getting a nice color to them there. We got some nice hot oil. We're using avocado oil. 1, because it's healthy, and 2, because it holds the heat very well. We're under some pretty high heat here. And there you go. Look at that nice sear on that. There you go. All right, so we're going to flip those over. And then we're going to place those into the oven. And we have some that are all ready to go there. All right, so now we're going to take some of our yellow mole here, and we're just going to add some of that to the center of our plate here. There we go. And then we're going to take one of our pork chops there. We're going to place that right into our mole. And then we're going to take a little bit of our green chili oil and just have a couple little garnishes on the outside there. And so this has cilantro, and spinach, and a little serrano for a little bit of heat there. And then we're going to take one of our sweet potato tamales, and we're going to serve those together. So that's a nice, quick, easy meal there. So we're gonna add a little bit of our maple pecan butter to it. So this is toasted pecans, butter, a little cinnamon, and that's gonna melt down right inside there. That's gonna be delicious there. So very quick, very easy recipe to prepare. And what goes better with a nice pork chop than a good shot of tequila, right? All right. So we're gonna take a little salt there. We're gonna take a little lime, a little salt. Cheers.